From the world's greatest race course, the racing capital of the world, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, we welcome you to coverage of the Northwest Racing Series, Spring Division ARCA Series, and the drivers are gritting. We are ready to go for round number 8 of the season. I am Wesley Outland. Jeremy Stanley is alongside. Producer tonight is our good friend from Leadfoot TV, Mr. Tracy Brown. Hopefully you got a County Line 8 and a hot dog. Figured out how to make them. We welcome you to Indy. We're getting ready for another 150 miles, 80 laps, 60 laps tonight. And obviously, Jeremy, the racing community is hurting. Obviously, love him or hate him. Rowdy, Candyman, Wild Thing, Kyle Busch passed away. I called many of his races. Matter of fact, I found myself earlier this afternoon going through my phone and looking at some of the memories of races that I've called where he ran. And obviously, the racing community is hurting. And we have a special tribute as well for LSRTV in the Northwest to show our respects for him. But nonetheless, as I think he would say, the show goes on and let's go racing.
That's exactly it there. And welcome, guys. Jumping in a little bit late here, but we're going to go over the starting lineup here before we hit the green flag, and then we'll furthermore go over what's going to transpire for this race for Kyle Busch's sake. But here it is, the starting lineup here. I'll take it here. Kevin Smith does start P1 again here. Sean Brightsman is second place. Row 2, you'll find Devin West. In the fourth place car to his outside is 29 of Ryan Bay. Row 3, it'll be Dennis Moore starting in P5. Sixth place will be Cal McGeorgy. Row 4 and 7th is Dan West Jr. To his outside. Triple 3, James Vining. And to round out tonight's top 10 starting lineup, Tyler King on the inside. 9th place, Kenneth Garber in 10th.
Moving on to row number 6, we're going to find Brian Barnes and Travis Barnes. They're not related. Row 6. Row 7, Jeff Stabnow, Seth Cooper. Row number 8 on the grid will find Bryce Dickman and Paul Newton. Stephen Paulison, Christopher White, Jake Pinagoro, and Brett Johnson right now, your top 20.
Then you got Bobby Grady there on the inside. And then 22nd place, Frank Harrison, 77. 23rd will be Josh Childress. 24th will be John Ottenbacher. 25th, you'll find Tim Garski, and then Jason Leake starts in 26th. 27th will be Tom Wygett, and then Dana Rogers to the outside in 28th. Ryan Bloom in 29th, and the top 30 rounds out with Kyle Matthews.
Rest of the rundown, we'll find these drivers, including Troy Daggett, Todd Miles in row 16, Ryan McLeod, Ray Fournier in row 17, Chris Kynes, Devin Matthews starts shotgun on the field. 36 cars ready to go here for 60 laps, 150 miles here at the virtual Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 2.5 miles, 4.023 kilometers. It is a rectangular racetrack. There will be a special moment of silence on lap number 8 for Rowdy's Kyle Busch. And as you look at the field coming to green, you see some of the drivers adorning their favorite paint schemes of Kyle Busch as well. Green flag flies in the air. We are underway. Kevin Smith on the front row. Devin West with a big push. Brightsman on the outside. And we're green here in Indy. They're heading your way in turn 1.
Here we go. Top 5 single filed out. They're still side by side for the next 3 to 4 rows. Back behind them, Kevin Smith with a decent launch here. Brightsman gets a good clearance over the 29 of Ryan Bay down the back straightaway. Actually, Kevin Smith is not in that frame, but they got the top 5 there, still single filed. Everybody else still finding it even 3 wide deep in the back behind 20th.
Kevin Smith is in that frame. He's in the Snickers car, 3rd car back right now as he started on the pole, but he fell back to 3rd as Sean Brightsman is the leader. Here comes Garber and Dan West Jr. side by side, working off of turn number 4. Here they come across the line, across the yard of bricks, 1 lap in. It is Brightsman leading the opening lap, and he's into turn number 1, holding on to the front over Ryan Bay and Kevin Smith, the pole man, in 3rd.
There we go. Smith back to P2 here as we're looking at the 46 going through turn 2. Good, clean, solid exit there. Brightsman's been on a stronger performance, I would say, this past month here. Fired off pretty decent, but after that sweep in Texas, I feel like his speed's been picking up here, and he has a strong start at Indy as the top four kind of close into each other, about a car length space between one another. And then the fifth place car, James Vining, is going to complete the first pack, if you will, and it takes a half a second to get back to sixth on behind them.
Comes the field working back down the front straightaway now. Remember, stage number 1 will be at lap number 18. As right now, Kevin Smith adorning the Snickers colors on a throwback in homage and memory of Kyle Busch. The Walla Walla Washington driver down to the inside. Fast qualifier. Looks for the lead on Sean Brightsman into the corner in turn 2.
Kevin Smith side by side here. Can he get back to the lead already as Brightsman's starting to slow down his pace a little bit, but he's getting help. He gets help from Ryan Bay in the 29. He's going to slingshot him back ahead of the 00. As he gets to turn 3 here, Ryan shoves up a little bit high. A little bit too high compared to where you want to be there, and he does the same thing, high arc into 4. Going to allow Kevin Smith to slide back into second place. Ryan starts the third, a little crossover possibly. Looks, doesn't like it, gets back in line there, slides right in front of Mr. Devin West, car number 5.
Working across the stripe now, working down lap number 4 of this race. As currently Sean Brightsman holding on to that lead. By the way, I want to send a big hello to our regular producer, Mr. Charles Wooten. He is suffering in the hotel room tonight after a rain out postponement for the races in Texas that he has for Race On. Big thank you to my good friend, Mr. Tracy Brown from the Leadfoot Racing League, LFRL, Leadfoot TV, for stepping in tonight for our coverage. And right now, it is Sean Brightsman. Look at this now. Paul Newton got some company. He just got around Dan West Jr. Jeff Stabnow also in that mix. Right now, we're all single file as they'll snake their way across the yard of bricks, trying to get a draft on one another. Stabnow going after Dan West Jr., maybe Newton, 2 for 1 in the short shoot in turn 1.
Sent on forward. They just cycle the camera back to the top 3. Still 1 car length separates the 46 from the 00 to the 29, and then some. James Vining goes back a few lengths. Dennis Moore, Kyle Garber, they all close in now on James as they get to turn number 3 side by side. 29 and car number 5. Ryan Bay is going to drop a position to 4th. Devin West slides into 3rd.
Short shoot into turn number 3. And now the exit now coming off of that 4th turn, coming down the front straightaway. That's now a look at Dennis Moore trying to poke out of line to go after Garber, but nonetheless, top 4, 5 are single file. 6 laps in now. It's Brightsman of the lead. Big gaggle of traffic fights between Garber and company in turn 2.
Garber's looking to try to make this pass complete over Dennis Moore into turn 2 as we cycle the camera a little bit further back into another Kyle Busch paint scheme there. The blue crispy M&M, my favorite M&M flavor, and one of the coolest cars. I thought he ran for the Candyman back in his 18 days. As you kind of space out the field a little bit here in the back half, a lot more separation going on. As you see car number 25. That's a good recreation there on the ARCA scheme.
Yeah, that's a throwback car to Ryan Bloom. Ryan Bloom is adorning that car, number 25, M&M's throwback for Kyle Busch. By the way, speaking of that, we will be coming up on the salute lap. Lap number 7 on the board this time by. There you see another one of those Snickers Kyle Busch throwbacks from the pole car of Kevin Smith. He's now trying to set his sights on Sean Brightsman. That goes on down the back straightaway, and we will have a moment of silence on lap number 8 in memory of Kyle Busch when they come back around next time by. Right now, Ryan Bay pulls to the inside. He'll make a move on the driver of Kevin Smith. Not going to get there. Devin West now will peek to number 2. He'll set his sights on his teammate for Sean Brightsman. And as that happens, here comes the field, thundering off of turn number 4. We got a problem. Kevin Smith's car, the Snickers car, wicked loose as he crosses the yard of bricks. We pause for a moment of silence to remember Rowdy Kyle Busch on lap 8. Kevin Smith in the Kyle Busch Snickers car coming down pit road. A problem on that machine, the pole driver. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know the credentials of Rowdy Kyle Busch, originally from Las Vegas, Nevada, brother to Kurt Busch, and his amazing career. After 22 full-time seasons of NASCAR, he passed away earlier this afternoon. He was a 2015 and 2019 NASCAR Cup Series champion. And amongst all of that, he had 63 NASCAR Cup Series wins, 69 Truck Series wins. The most recent came last Friday at Dover Motor Speedway during the All-Star Weekend. And he had 63 Cup Series wins, 69 truck wins, as I just mentioned, and 102 Xfinity or O'Reilly Series wins. If you do the math, that's over 234 wins he had in NASCAR competition, the most of anybody combined. We've got trouble. We've got a crash on the front straightaway. Cars have crashed just coming out of the restart zone out of turn number 4, and this will trigger our first caution on lap number 9, working lap number 10.
Let's all start right at the exit of turn number 4. It looks like someone I couldn't make out who went a little bit wide on exit, got clipped in the right rear, hooked him to the outside wall. And I brought a couple cars involved in this one, and then one car late, Seth Cooper tried merging back up the track and took out another car. We'll have to see here if we got a replay other than the scoring tower. Here we go, back straight away. We wanted a half a lap. We're going to see if we can kind of cycle back a little bit to maybe around 10th place. I think this is roughly where it all started here. Somewhere back here, maybe a little bit further. No, here's Seth Cooper. So Seth was involved in this one.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this was after or before there was an accident up ahead and then they got collected in it. Let's see. Nope, there it is. Oh, boy, Cooper. Dan West Jr.
Yeah, they collect
and what
themselves.
could have been a lot more cars involved is only a multi-car accident. That's it.
Actually, Seth Cooper bounces off the outside wall, so he gave up maximum space to the outside. Actually, nope, take that back. He turned down onto the right rear to the 55 there. So I thought the first one hit the wall, but did not. So then he turns Dan West Jr., then watch this orange car, tries to sneak through as Seth tries to pull through, and bam! Knocks off the front clip of that car. So 3 cars total involved in this first caution of this evening.
Another look at it again from on board with Seth Cooper. And he got to the right rear. Did not lift, and Dan West Jr. goes spinning. Cooper goes spinning in the process, and all that right at the restart zone. So caution out here in the early going of this one. With 50 laps to go, we're already 10 laps in, 25 miles completed. Remember, we were supposed to do a stage on lap number 20, but because of, obviously, in homage and respect memory of Kyle Busch, we will have the stage end at lap 18. As I mentioned, Dover this past Friday, Kyle Busch picked up his last NASCAR victory in the Truck Series. Of course, he drove full-time since 2023 for Richard Childress Racing. And the number 8, Lucas Oil, Cheddar's Chevrolet. And he said, and I quote down in Victory Lane, "You take whatever you can get, man." Busch said, "You never know when the last one is going to be. So cherish them all, trust me." Who would have thought less than a week later, Kyle Busch, at the age of 41, would succumb to a sinus cold and an illness putting him in the hospital. Kyle Busch is survived by his wife, Samantha, super great lady, a beautiful spirit, nice lady, met her many times. And obviously, son, Brexton Busch, 10 years old, and daughter, Lennox, 4. And Brexton, actually, Jeremy, just celebrated a birthday on Monday. Thoughts for the family, especially the little ones.
Yeah, 100% there. I had no idea his son Braxton had a birthday on Monday, so.
Oh, yeah.
Not the week to celebrate, that's for sure. And yeah, we'll have to. It's gonna be tough this weekend watching the Charlotte events, the trucks, the O'Reilly, and the Cup Series.
Yeah. Atlantic Sim Racing. This is the Northwest Racing Series. They are based out of the Pacific Northwest. They are the premier iRacing series of the Northwest. And by the way, speaking of the premier late model series of iRacing, the Leadfoot Racing League iRacing Late Model Tour, season number 6 around the corner. Still May 31st. Tracy, next Sunday, May 31st, right?
Yep, that's going to be
There you
it.
go.
That'll be our first
May
race. Got
Be ready for it.
Yep, got
There
all
you
our
go.
crew signed up, ready to go. Got a few preliminary seeding races to take care of, and we're going to be dropping the green hanky
Will
on
anybody-
next Sunday.
Will anybody stop Justin Brooks? That's the question.
The only person that's going to be able to stop him is me and Landon if we kick him out of the league. That's the only thing that's going to keep him from winning.
Well, Brightsman is ready to bring them back to green, along with, of course, Devin West. Devin West obviously trying to go back-to-back here at Indy. He won the truck race on Monday night. Brightsman, Ryan Bay, right there. Closing in on 5 laps remaining in stage number 1, lap 18. Pace cars in, Jeremy. We're coming back to green with Brightsman, Bay, West, Bay, Moore, Vining, top 5 as we come back to the restart zone.
Here we go, and green flag is out, back underway. 48 laps remaining here. As he gets to the line, as the 46 does clear the 5, they go single file. The 46 and the 5, too wide there for. It was 3rd and 4th momentarily. Now the top 6 single filed out. Brightsman gets the whole launch here, car length over Devin West. Ryan Bay sits in 3rd. And this race seems to be one of those races to where you're going to have to. It's tough to be side by side, but it is a strong slingshot, just like you're going to see Devin West go for it to the inside, backs it down, he realizes the corner's not his. He's going to take another stab at it here if he can get back to the 46. Great chance. The 46 drives in hard early. Devin's going to get a great launch on exit. He's probably going to go to the inside here and try to take his first lap lead of the evening.
Devin West right there on the back bumper of the 46 of Sean Brightsman. He'll make his move right there on the Blizzard entry. At least he'll try to. Corner exit of the short chute. Now back into turn number 2. Devin West losing ground on Brightsman now as they work their way on lap 14 down the back straightaway.
He's got a good onboard shot here and see if he's going to follow suit. I thought he was going to take the pass on the front stretch. Nope, he's going to wait for the back stretch. Here we go. Inside of the 46, throws it in deep, clears it by a car length. He's going to have to get on the binders a little bit here. Brightsman has an opportunity to do a crossover. Oh, he's going to bounce off the wall. Scratch that idea, messes up his entrance into 4. Keeps it about a car length to the outside, and we have our second caution deep in the back here on, lap?
Yes, it will be lap 15 here this time by. Yeah, caution's out. Yeah, another accident here. So caution out here for the second time. Here's looking at a replay for what happened, and there goes Todd Miles, John Ottenbacher, Josh Childress, and others spinning to put us under yellow flag. There it is. Maybe we'll try to see it from another angle.
Producer is working hard. Tracy Brown trying to find the buttons here. He told me earlier this evening he needed his beauty sleep, and he's running into overtime himself. But here we go. I think he's found it. Kevin Smith looks like he's going to be involved. And I can't tell from that. Was there a checkup, or did Kevin just get a fantastic run to the corner? Hard to tell from that perspective. We're going to see if Todd Miles had... Oh, there's a little bit of domino effect even with the 77 of Harris. It looks he backed up the corner, and just kind of a little domino effect, Wes. They come off the corner, you don't expect that kind of a checkup, and they all kind of just came together there in the middle of 3 and 4.
Pit lane is open, and I got a feeling everybody will be coming down pit road. And they are doing just that. A lot of drivers going to be coming down pit road. I got a feeling they're going to be taking on probably 2 tires, because I just don't think it's, 15 laps into it using 4 tires already. I just see 2 tires only. Devin West overshot his pit box. We'll see. Sean Breitzman, right side tires on. Let's see if they go to the left side. And yes, they will. So 4 tire stop, actually. Kevin Smith in front of his pit box. Some others are rolling. Ryan Bay, Sean Breitzman, Dennis Moore. Finally, Devin West rolling off pit road. Remember, he had to back up. Overshot his pit stall. Probably lost a couple of seconds because of that there, Jeremy. And they will reset him here to go back for a restart coming up.
Gets his spot there back in front of Ryan Bay in the 29. Cycling back here, we should be getting the 1 to go this time around. And see Mr. Paul Newton going to lead his first laps of the evening. Taking it through strategy. Knowing that there is a stage break still lurking. I think it's going to be a 1 to 2 lap shootout until we get to that stage break, which is, of course, is on lap 18, which has been notated already. So this will be a good little shootout here. The first driver on a fresh set of tires, see him all the way back there. That's going to be in 7th place, Mr. Breitzman. So now he gets a little bit of a sprint race here to try to pass as many cars as he can before they get to the end of this first stage. Coming to 17 now, so
yeah,
it'll be a 1 lap unless they call it early, because it'll be a 1 lap shootout. We've seen this before, Wesley. They're gonna get the lights to come off now, and it should be a 1 lapper to complete the stage.
And by the way, they were planning to have a stage break on lap 18, obviously, like we did on lap number 8, to pay respects and our salute for the Northwest for Kyle Busch. So, all right. So the field will get ready to work their way behind the pace car. We should be looking for a restart coming up this time by, and I'm believing that will be on lap number 18. So we're working lap 17 right now. Well, actually, it says we're 44 laps to go. So actually, we should get 2 laps. So they'll come around and they'll get the green, and then they have another lap until lap 18. And then they'll throw the caution. So you're right, Jeremy. They're going to get at least 1 lap of speed here before the end of the stage.
Yeah, this should be lap 18 getting the green flag. And then as the first 10 cars in this field crosses the line, then they're going to drop the yellow 1 more time. I think this has happened twice before this season between both
the other
Trucks
night
and ARCA.
Yeah, it happened
Yes, sir.
happened the other night here at Indy. As a matter of fact, we literally took the green. As soon as we took the green, the caution was displayed for the stage. So I feel we'll see the same thing. And obviously, remember, this race was supposed to be lap 20, the stage, but because of the, paying our tribute to Kyle Busch, they said lap 18. So field coming to the restart zone. They're at the box with Newton and Stab now on the front row. Here they come to the line. Green flag back out. This will be lap number 18.
Yeah, the 24 didn't get a great start
That's
there,
right.
but he gets a great launch out of turn 1, though. Brings it back to within a car length of Paul Newton here. He's got to hang
One
on
lap.
for
They're getting one lap.
That's right. That's all he needs here. Back straight away, remain contactless halfway down. A lot of cars scattered all over the place to try to. Oh, there's the contact there. Doro, they're going to wreck 3 wide into the outside wall. Here we go.
Boy.
We got one of the Matthews in the 34. We got Devin West. The big one is happening in Indianapolis here. In turn number 3, just off of contact alone from Brightsman. And the 34.
Well, that'll end the stage.
That's definitely going to end the stage, and Paul Newton's going to get it.
Here comes the field. Some of them badly damaged, battered, and bruised coming back. And the caution out here.
I would like to take a look after we get this cleared out as they cross the line here. Here's the replay. Got Kyle Matthews in the 34. Brightsman in the 46 come together. They squeeze it, I think, 3 wide entering turn 3 just before. And it was just a battle of real estate there, Wesley.
Yeah. And by the way, this is the stage. So just want to let everyone know we're on lap 18.
Let's kick it back to the 34 or the 46 to see this. Here it is, 3 wide, drives into. He was actually inside of his car there. A little virtual net code, if you will. As
that's Brightsman, the middle car, the blue 46. He gets in to the Matthews car. Watch Matthews poke out a line here. There it is. And then he ain't lifting. Well, oh, wow, Sean. Oh, wow. What do you think?
I think we go back to that camera that was off of turn 3 wall, and we back it up maybe a little bit closer to turn 2. Right there, you see the move to the outside. There's a 34 of Kyle Matthews. Look, tons of space, right? And as we play at normal speed, he closes that gap. He takes a sharp cut to the outside, collects the 46. They kind of car glue each other. So I don't think the Brightsman did anything wrong because I saw their fenders inside of one another. So I'm assuming Kyle didn't realize they were 3 wide. As you see the massive pileup. What a great view of the wreck right there. Cars scattered from inside wall to outside wall. Fenders, debris everywhere. But yeah, Kyle just drove into the outside, into the 46's driver panel, and they just couldn't release one another right there.
From another angle, watch the blue and black machine. That's Matthews' car. Watch him peel out a line from 3 wide, and he's fighting Brightsman, and he ain't lifted, and neither is Brightsman. And then there's the contact. Wow, rubbing up against the right rear, and they got him loose, and they go crashing, and then everybody else watching. ARCA, runner-up to the points last year. Ryan Bay, Ray 48, Dan West Jr., Devin West, and others. Scattered. Garber involved. Kynes involved. Paulison involved. I think it's more suffice to say, Jeremy, you could mention the names of drivers that weren't caught up in the accident, that were caught up in the wreck.
Yep, it was close to half, I would say. Easily. If not, maybe extending that. If you look at the incident report of all the people who had one-offs in the grass and whatnot, yeah, there's more than half the field involved in this one. So Paulus in the 27 wins stage.
And by the way, this stage on lap number 18 was in memory of Kyle Busch. We're going to put the graphic back up on the screen again. Obviously, we were supposed to be running to lap number 20, but obviously Mr. Jeff Stabnow from the Northwest messaged me, Jeremy, and said, hey, lap 18, stage break, Kyle Busch in his honor. And we said we have no problem with that. We had already worked out one for lap number 8. But if you remember the success that he had in your M&M Snickers era, Rowdy Candyman, if you will, Jeremy, there is the tribute to him on lap 18. So, yep.
There it is. Now, I'm kind of curious here in this pack as I get to 1 to go.
Yeah, way to go.
Jeff Stabnow did not pit. Some of these other guys up front did not pit.
Well, they pitted before the accident, if you remember.
Well, there was a couple cars that stayed out, or did everyone come down? I thought they had stayed out.
I thought everybody came down pit road right there at the first caution. Yeah, yeah.
I was looking at a couple things, and I just assumed. So they're all freshened up, ready to go. I just know that when Bryceman came down, he was P1. He came out P7. And now they're going to stack up with Stabnow, Pinagoro, Daggett, Gursky, and Barnes is your top 5. As you're going to come across the line to get the green flag on lap number 22. And see on the graphic there is your top 5. It's a much different looking top 5 than what we started with.
Yep, Jeff Stabnow up in front right now, and he'll have the opportunity to bring the field to green. Jake Pinagoro, Troy Daggett, Mr. Tim Garski, the Vining, the Catman, James Vining right now in the top 5. Good run for him.
Just a notation here. Sean Breitzman still on pit road with a meatball. Chris Kynes in the 57 on pit road with a meatball. Devin Matthews has a penalty to serve. Everybody seems clear, except for maybe a little bit of damage. He's going to come off turn 4 here and get this race back underway on lap 22.
Remember, this will also be the restart and the second stage of the race as we close in on under 40 laps to go. 100 miles remain, 50 miles completed, and we are back to racing here. Stabnow, great launch of the restart. He'll pull to the inside. Heading into turn number 1 into the short chute, side by side. Battle for the bridesmaid, spotted P2. That's Daggett, Pinagoro. Barnes watches on as they work their way, but Stabnow breaking away in 2.
Side by side goes Travis Barnes to the outside, Troy Daggett to the inside. A lot of separation. The 99 needs to close it in, gets the draft now. As the draft is playing a huge factor in this race. You can close in 2+ car lengths very easily, even 3, down these long straightaways. Come across a 90-degree angle there. Ooh, the 89 John Ottenbacher, a little loose into 3 there. Haven't seen too many cars loose like that this evening. Come off of turn 4, a little contact, I think, from the 55 to the outside wall, back in the field. Everybody else stays clear there. Jeff Stabnow has a 1-second lead. Actually, no, now I lied to you. That was the scoreboard error. He's got a 1 car length lead now over Pinagoro, who kind of starting to separate themselves from the rest of the field, Russ.
Yeah, they really are. And not done yet. Top 5 for the moment. Following Jeff Stabnow, Pinagoro, Barnes, Daggett, Garski, your top 5. Vinan, Grady, Newton, Wygen, Kyroy. Top 10 as we pause for a moment on the radio.
You're listening to the CRN Community Radio Network. We now pause for station identification. This is the Community Radio Network, WCRN, 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Smithfield, North Carolina. Proud to be in the USA. We are CRN.
Back here at Indianapolis, working now 7 laps to the halfway mark of this one in this 60-lap, 150-mile battle By the way, don't forget the Northwest Racing Series will be off next Monday and Thursday night in observance of Memorial Day. Right now, Stabnow leading the charge over Barnes, Pinagoro, Garski, and Daggett as they work their way off the short chute at turn 4 there, Jeremy.
Single filed almost the entire field till he gets about 10th or 15th. There's your right on board, your race leader off of turn 4. Jeff Stabnow with so much unlucky moments this season. He's now caught a break. He's leading this race. He's got a really fast Travis Barnes right behind him. Him and the 10 car, Pinagoro. Can they do anything with Stabnow, or does Jeff have these corners down on lock? They got the draft assistance, of course, but Jeff is pulling away on corner exits. He is locked in here, almost halfway into this race. So high hopes here for the 24 to do a decent finish here this evening.
Jeremy, not going to lie to you. Jeff Stabnow, the Billings, Montana driver, on the road to becoming Mr. 500, has success here at Indianapolis. He has, in Northwest competition, at just Indianapolis alone, 5 career wins, including 3 in the trucks, 2 in Xfinity, and actually 1 in Xfinity and 1 in Cup. That is the credentials he's had. Never in ARCA, but he knows how to win, and right now he's looking for his 6th Indy victory. If he can pull it off, he leads right now.
Looking off the back bumper of the 24 here off of turn 2. You're going to see how much this slipstreamer draft plays effect here with the 0-10. Closing in. Jeff just sets himself up so well off these corner exits. Oh, they go around the 39 of Childress there. Oh, to the back bumper. Travis almost gets there entirely. But Jeff is doing so well on these exits, keeping that separation to a minimum, or to a maximum, I should say, off a turn. You see it right there. He gains a half a car length, and then Travis has to reel him back in. The hard work of trying to stay behind him, not overshooting the corner entry because he's about 5 mile an hour faster as they get to these corners, and he has to check up more. He's doing a good job here. These 3 cars, nose to tail, 1 car length still separates them here. 34 to go.
The way Tyler King came into tonight's race with the overall points lead. 10 points separate King from Ryan Bay. 22 from Devin West. 25 from Sean Brightsman. Most wins this year for anybody. Travis Barnes is a 2-time winner. 1 at Gateway, 1 on the dirt at Knoxville. Back-to-back Thursdays, if you remember. Sean Brightsman, obviously a 1 win this year for him, as well as Brian Barnes and Troy Daggett. And we speak of Jeff Stabnow. He has 1 top 10 this year. That's it. And right now he leads them. Top 3 pulling away as we're closing in on the cross flags in about another 6 miles.
Yep, they're starting to pull ahead a little bit further and further each lap here. They're separating themselves also from that 10 car that's lurking. Can Jake do anything for the long run? You see Paul Newton way back there. He is over a 2.5 seconds back. 4th place. It's just, they're trying to do everything to stay in line, get to the race lead, but they're going to need some type of strategy, maybe an early pit stop, maybe they hope for an issue, but right now the top 3 just have this thing figured out at this time. 1 car on pit road. No wreck to be found there. And I think is that even the 25 of Ryan Bloom possibly? Oh, the blue car. As you continue to look through the field here. That's a white and blue car, the 58 of Paulson.
Yeah, Stephen Paulison's on pit road. 3rd time in the pits. Josh Childress obviously crashed out earlier. There goes the Dairy Queen, number 58. There's Stephen Paulison. And now back to on-track activity as we're closing in on halfway. Coming up in a few more circuits. Stabnow in the lead. There he is right now over Barnes. There is Pinagoro. Top 3 breaking away from everyone else to Newton back 2.5 seconds, as well as Garski finding 3 seconds back outside the top 5. Single file. Here comes a draft. Can't get him yet. Barnes had a run. It's one thing to get to him. It's another thing to pass him. And Stab now ain't letting it happen. Cross flags next time by.
Look at Travis Barnes in the 0-10 here. He's got a good camera angle off the turn 2 wall to see all the cars cycling through to the corner. Great offset camera angle here down the back straightaway mounted next to turn 3. You see the big gap between 3rd and 4th. They got themselves their own little pack, and then you got a 3rd pack way in the back. Still nose to tail. 24-0-10. Coming up to 30 laps to go.
Cross flags in the air. 30 completed. 30 remain. If you're doing the math, that is about 75 miles left in this race. In what has been a fast one, just 26 minutes into it. Barnes now trying to size up Stab now for the lead. Not going to get him yet as they work off of turn 2. Down the back straightaway. That's 5/8 of a mile long.
Looks like Newton's able to pull away from Garski and everybody else behind him as well by a few car lengths here. Focus on your pole sitter. Kevin Smith currently 10th place, now 9th as he quickly passes the 21 who stabs the brakes there. Devin West also checks up quite a bit, little 2 for 1. Into turn number 3 goes Kevin Smith. And he comes off now of turn number 4. He's got the number 1 of Mr. Bobby Grady right in front of him. 2 car lengths between them. They start to snake each other down the front straightaway, trying to stay in that slipstream.
That, of course, is father-son Dan West Jr. Devin West, 9th and 10th. A 00, of course, with the Snickers on the car is Kevin Smith back up to 8th. Snickers throwback for Kyle Busch for the pole driver. And right now, back up front, there's Stab now. Oh, boy, slow car up ahead. Boy, Jeremy, that could have been disastrous if they would have ran into that car. It was like a parked car over there in turn number 3 in the short chute.
Yeah, that would have been a heavy contact there. Thankfully, no one did, and we all stay green flag here. 28 laps to go. It looks like Travis has found a little magic here. He's closed back up to about that 1 to 2 car lengths there and messes up that corner entry. Talking about him, there's Jake as well. He's also closed in quite a bit. So it just they're learning from what Jeff's doing in the corners, and I think they're using it to their advantage. And of course, they get the slipstream down the long straightaways. These guys have still continued to press. 2.6 seconds is the gap between 1st and 4th. So it still remains these 3 duking it out. Paul Newton all by his lonesome, and then James Vining leads the charge with the other 4 to 5 cars behind him here.
.27 laps to go. There goes the big battle there as Vining hung out to dry to the inside. Just got bypassed by 3 or 4 cars at one time. Smith, West, Grady. That's Vining who got bypassed. All this going on now as they are continuing to battle for that spot coming out of 2.
Looking through the rest of the field here. Looking back now to the race leaders. We keep cycling back and forth to see where the action's at. Jeff actually runs a little low there. Touches that lighter part of that corner set right where the curbing would be. Upset the car a little bit. Travis overreacted to it. He checked up even more. Now brings back to a 2 car length separation there. Jeff gets a little bit more breathing room momentarily. Here comes the great launch. Does he dive to the inside? Nope. He's going to get the slam draft as you look at the V8 engine of these ARCA cars. And he does it again. Contact mid-corner. Shoves Jeff Stabno up the track. Getting a little aggressive here to try to make this pass.
Stab now continuing to hold off the 3 musketeers, if you will, of Barnes, Pinagoro, and now Newton 2 seconds back, but finding daylight to try to run down these guys. The Pied Piper of the 24 down to the inside. And Jeremy, I don't want to jinx the man out of Billings, Montana, but I will tell you this. If there is any racetrack on the schedule for the spring division that I could tell you via text he told me he's looking forward to, it is Indianapolis. The success this man has had. And right now, proving that theory again. But here comes another one. Barnes down to the inside. He'll try to look for the lead on Stab now. Might give him a shot in the fuel cell, but he backed away and they fight the sun in two.
Sun getting a little bright here as the sun starts to set a little bit more and more in this afternoon race. As you get a good look here from the front bumper clip of the 010 at the back of Jeff Stab now. Continuing to drive. Nope, he's going to take a late cut here, maybe for the first pass effort. Oh, he's going to get tight contact. 0-10-24. Jeff might have a decent chance to clear him off of 4 here, as it brought Jake right into the picture. Looks like Travis able to keep it down on the low half of turn 4. Here comes the shot to Jeff, going to propel him back to solo race leader. And then just like that, Jake now P2.
25 laps to go. And now Jake Penagoro got to hold off the likes of Barnes. A slip by Barnes. Let the 10 SRW Pacific Ram number 10 entry go to the number 2 spot. He'll now set his sights on Stab now. Stab now currently in the number 1 position.
Can Jake do anything now with Jeff? As he's looking, as we're getting to some lap traffic up ahead here. 2 cars in the frame. 3 is one's on the access road to pit lane. Up here comes one more on pit road. That's going to leave Matthews all by himself. That's Paulison in the 58 back to pit road once again.
Jeremy, I got a feeling these guys are going to have to come back and make another pit stop. They're going to have to pit again. The leaders will have to pit. It's just a matter of when. I'm thinking about 15 to go.
Yeah, no, absolutely. 100%. I agree with you there. This track's just too big, and it was too many laps to run it through to the end on one fuel run. Oh, contact Travis Barnes into Jake. Looks like they're going to be able to drive away from that one. It's going to take
car is a pickup ahead. A lap car is a pickup ahead. How will they negotiate through this one? That's the 96 of Matthews' car.
Man. Oh, no. Oh, man. Is that Devin? Yeah, Devin Matthews.
Yep. Give him a move.
That stab now to the bottom. It really hurt his corner entry. Then he overdrove the corner, slammed the ball, almost clipped the back of the right rear of the 10 of Jake Penagoro. So really just try to shake up the race lead there. It brought Paul Newton up a half a second plus to these guys. That was a really sketchy moment there for your top 3.
Boy, poor Travis. Watch that. Gonna have to reset again. Travis Barnes gonna have to try to go for another opportunity to go after Stab now. Jake Penagoro spoiled the party. Matthews, the lap car, is a pick. Spoiled the party, but the 0-10 Ford will not be wavered. Here he comes, reeling in the 24th Stab now again. By the way, they're closing in on 20 laps to go, which will be the equivalent of 50 miles left in this race. You want to do the math right now? There's 55 miles left in this one as they come to the stripe. Look at now Dan West Jr. peeling off. He's on pit road. Some other drivers on pit road. The leaders race on into turn number 1.
Seeing here as they continue to put pressure on Jeff, who's exceeding in this moment as 0-10 slaps the wall off corner exit 1. Lose about a car length or so on the 24 this time. Jake might have a decent chance to close right to his back bumper to maybe take over second place again. As the 0-10 Kevin Smith charging up through the field here. Getting a little closer anyways. Runs the outside, inside rather, to break the draft. Looks like Jake not able to get to the back of Travis Barnes this time. As they come off turn 4, we're going to get the 20 lap. Oh, here's the pit stop here. The 0-10 on pit road may have gotten some contact on the back bumper from the 10. I see a little bit of damage right there on the right rear.
Now, is that a strategy for going for the undercut on Stab now? coming down pit road early. Travis Barnes did.
Yeah, this is exactly a strategy call here. Undercut the race leader. That's what you gotta do if you're gonna give yourself any chance. Jeff's gonna be running slower lap times, and he's got no draft assistance. So Jeff needs to come down this time, or else he's gonna hurt himself overall. He needs to stay in that draft. Expect the 24 to come down this time.
Does look like he's starting to decelerate, and he will. Here comes Jeff Stabnow onto the pit lane. Money stop for the number 24 from Billings, Montana. Could all the stars align possibly for Stabnow to find his way as a winner? Remember also, cannot make any mistake on pit road. Cannot get busted for speeding. Cannot overshoot your pit stall. You gotta hit your marks perfect there. And the 24 looks like he's gonna do just that and be in. On board. Here comes Barnes. In also the 71. More cars. Cooper, Garber. They're all on pit road here now.
Clean drop with the jack there. Here comes the 24 Stabnow. As the pit road is quite a busy place here. As we're just a little bit past the halfway mark. Lap 42 underway right now. Troy Daggett currently holds the race lead. Tyler King second, Todd Miles P3, Dana Rogers and Brett Johnson round out the top 5. Troy Daggett stays out this time to lead another lap here around Indianapolis. 18 laps remaining.
Oak from the pit lane for drivers locking up the brakes. Now Troy Daggett having the opportunity to lead. All right, so look, on your scoring pylon, you just saw the top 5. It is Daggett, King, Miles, Rogers. They're all going to have to pit. Question is when. This will cycle back around between Travis Barnes, Jeff Stabnow.
Front straightaway here. The drivers all single filed, running quite calmly here as you get to turn number 1.
And they're
Kevin
5th and
Smith, there's
6th.
your pole sitter.
And Jeremy, they're 5th and 6th right now on the scoring pylon. If you're looking at the drivers that have not pitted yet, and it looks like they're right around each other. Look at that strategy. Look at Stabnow. This might have worked in his favor, Jeremy.
We'll find out. He did lose his spot to Travis Barnes, but he's going to be in that draft, which is going to be fantastic for him to get there. It's the first time we've seen him in dirty air. We'll see how he performs. There's going to be a big checkup on corner exit turn 3. That's going to cost him a couple tenths of a second to Travis here off of turn 4. Now he's got just the 0-10 in front of him. Let's watch the gap and see how this closes for Jeff.
Done bearing down on that pavement here at the world's greatest race course in Indianapolis. And now, in a moment, Daggett and King and Johnson, Dickman, they're going to have to come down pit lane. And when they do, the race is on right here. This is the race for the win.
Jeff is moving in quick. He's 0.5 off the turn 2. Looking at his time now, he's 0.37. And as he thought, look at him, he's just getting bigger and bigger in this camera frame here.
Jeremy.
0 is the gap.
And Jeremy Stabnow's got friends. Dan West Jr. is right behind him. You see from the rear end of the car, there goes Stabnow. See the blue car poking into view? That is Shelton Washington's Mr. Driver of Dan West Jr., teammate to Jeff Stabnow.
And he was a part of that big wreck there in turn 3 on lap 18. So great recovery from the 55 to be back in the frame here. Potentially for a chance to win this thing in 15.5 laps. Jeff, this is the first time he's now up close with someone in dirty air. How does he make the pass effort? It was nearly impossible in the trucks. These ARCA cars are a little more forgiving in this fact that he's got some assistance or hindrance in front of him here. Here we go, 3 wide front straightaway. Jeff making the move. Gonna pass the 0-10, the 18, and the 7 all on the front. Oh no! As we have more bad luck for
Wow.
Jeff. Travis just makes a completely wrong call there.
Man, oh man, what was he thinking?
Oh.
Tried to go 3 wide, stab down to the bottom, and Barnes turned him. Oh my goodness, and into his teammate of Brett Johnson.
This was Jeff's race to lose. And
Emmett,
Travis
Emmett, I don't know what you're talking about. I feel fine, dude. I'm not sick. I'm fine, with the exception of having no air conditioning on Monday. I mean, other than that, I mean, I wasn't sick.
Yeah, that's
hot
rough.
as hell. Watch this again, Jeremy. I don't know what Barnes was thinking here. I mean, wow. Why would you do that?
You still got 14 laps to go to make that kind of a cut. You should have given way more room, right? We still have, what, 10 plus minutes of racing to go.
I mean, there was at least 35 miles of racing left, and man.
Well, that's a moment of the race right there. That's just unfortunate, and just the bad luck continued. Jeff, he can't find true luck here in 2026. Doesn't matter if it's Mondays or Thursdays. Oh man, Brett Johnson, wrong place, wrong time. Gets completely destroyed.
I mean, it's not my call, but if I was race control, Travis Barnes would be going to the rear right now. I mean, you can clearly see that. Did Travis panic? I mean, I don't know. I mean, look.
You got to know the driver.
The best camera angles from turn 1, Tracy Brown, our producer, if he can show a turn 1 shot from the front straightaway from turn 1, and you could literally see them coming down the front stretch, heading into turn 1 with a camera angle. So this is just stay with it right there. Look at Stab now. He gets a draft, Jeremy. He pulls out of line, drops to the inside. He's got the line, right? He's got the momentum. And wow.
The only thing I can think of here, Wesley, is that Travis did not recognize how much Jeff had to check up entering the low side of turn 1. There's a big difference in drop of speed, right? And so he probably just mismanaged that. I don't know. He as soon as you start to cut low, he clipped the right rear, so you didn't really give Jeff any chance at all to clear into the corner. Travis take the bottom, just a wrong judgment call there.
Well, I'd love to bring in Jeff Stab now. Tell me his side of it, but it looks like he's already retired from the race. I don't even see Jeff Stab now anymore in our communication chat with our drivers on iRacing. So, needless to say, he's out, Jeremy. And that man, that sucks. That's all I'm gonna say. I really think Stab now, in the words of Frank Sinatra, the high hopes were there to win this race tonight.
Yeah, no, there was every sign that Jeff was going to do it. He just had to make that pass, and he did it. He did everything he did perfectly.
You know what? I'm gonna bring in Travis. Hey, Travis, it's the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy, guys.
Man, what's your take of what happened there, dude? Was it? Did you not see him coming down the bottom? The car lock up. What happened there going into turn 1?
It's been a rough night for me. I shouldn't be up here, in all honesty, but yeah, I got into the back of Jeff there, driving into 1. Got on a little hotter than I thought, so ended up dumping him pretty much, and then get on the pit lane. I don't know, something's going on with my iRacing. I can't talk or anything in the game, so I couldn't call that I was coming down pit lane. I got Jake all messed up, so it's been a rough night, but nonetheless, we're up here, so I guess we'll see what they want to say after the race.
All right, Travis, thanks for your time, buddy. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, at least he owned it, Jeremy. I mean, I'll give him respect for that. At least he owned it.
Yeah, I love on the broadcast side on like iRacing here, to where usually like in the real life, right, when the driver has to wreck out to be able to talk to him in the middle of the race. No, we can just bring in the drivers that are on the other end of the stick there who may have caused it, in this case Travis Barnes. But yeah, no, he didn't hold back, didn't have anything negative. He just said it was my bad, iRacing's messing up on my end, so he was trying to deal with that and just simply just made the wrong call.
Well, this changes everything now, and it looks like race control is going to keep the lead for Travis Barnes. So whatever bad luck or no luck is happening for the 010 entitled Boys Motorsports entry, it is going to stay for the Ford of Travis Barnes to be in the lead. Chevrolet Dan West Jr. on the outside. And, of course, you got a Ford of Newton, a Camry. How about that for James Vining? How about Frank Harris, Jeremy? Another solid run in the Sunkist number 77 race car. The Legend. I love that car, by the way. It looks so sharp.
Yeah, it does look very good, and he was actually running mid-pack for the most part of this race. To see him up here late in the going, this is kind of cool. Maybe Frank can make something out of this opportunity gifted to him here as we're waiting for the restart zone. Should be in there right now. 3, 2, 1. Green flag back in the air. Going to be 11 laps to go. Little check up there from the drivers behind the 77 of Harris. Maybe some tire spin. James Vining cuts to the inside right underneath the 55 of Dan West Jr. Trying to pick him up an easy, quick position there. And yellow, just like that, back in the field. We got our, I think, 4th yellow flag of this evening.
Yeah, another crash.
And we're going to see
5th.
who brought out 5th caution. Thank you. 5th caution in the evening. We look like maybe 17, possibly. There's 37 of Brian McLeod. Which I meant 37, not 17. Oh, yeah, there was a moment for Bobby Grady. Couldn't tell if he just got loose there, but he's the one who turned in front of the field here.
That's Bobby Grady and the number 1, the green number 1, and the 04 is Tim Garski. Watch this again. Here's a replay. By the way, Tracy Brown on it tonight, filling in for Charles Wooten. And there, wow, did Devin West get a little wiggle there, and that caused everybody behind him to check up from the 5? Jeremy, what do you think?
Just a domino effect. Nothing that Bobby could do there. The checkup happens, the 07 into the 69, 69 into the 5, 5 into the 1, of course, and they all stockpiled, man. That's all that was. And just an unfortunate situation. I noted there was a little bit of tire spin on the restart on the outside lane. I think from that same spot, Mr. Dana Rogers, and then just got to turn 1 and it gets just misjudgment on speed. Here's the view from Ken Garski here in the 04. Just you can't really see anything until you get there. The spoilers are so big when you're 4 cars in line. You're just kind of hoping everyone makes it through clear, and that time they did not.
On board, Bobby Grady, number 1. Devin West in front of him. And, well, there you go. I don't want to say it was Devin West, but maybe the car to the outside of him, and that was a little wiggle there. And when it did, Jeremy, that's what caused the problem on the restart. Watch this again. 5th car in line, outside lane. Watch that. Well, there it is. Is that the 69, I think it is?
Yeah, no, it's Mr. Wygent there.
Tom Wygent, yeah. Tom Wygent, 69, there it is. Watch this again.
It looks like
behind Rogers, in front of the 5. Watch this again. It looked like it just didn't go.
Yeah, 07. Dana Rogers doesn't go. He makes contact. 69. Wyden
Yep.
actually bumped the 07, which shifted him 3 wide,
Wow.
and that's where the
Wow,
checkup
wow.
ensued. Yep, that's how the checkup initiated. 2 decent-sized wrecks here tonight. Not the biggest one, of course, for this one, but we're going to restack them up again. We're going to have 7 laps to go on this restart. Your top 5 is Travis Barnes, Paul Newton, Dan West Jr., James Vining, and Frank Harris. Got our nice fancy graph there on the left-hand side. Thank you, Mr. Tracy, for that. All right. Let's try to stay clear. Keep it at 5 cautions at most. Like to see this thing run to the end. Curious to know if Paul Newton can sneak through and maybe have an attempt of doing something with Travis, or does Dan West Jr. surprise us and get his first lap sled here in the last couple?
Still under caution as we wrap up our 5th yellow flag, by the way, under 10 remaining. 9 make it 8 to go at the line when they cross the yard of bricks, which is just about now. There is 2 attempts at overtime if need be. Here's the... If you got a set of tires, Jeremy, do you use them in single digits? What do you think? There's your race recap so far also.
If you're... I don't know. It's tough to call if you're going to make any more pit stops. I think if it's me, I'm going to lock myself in. I got what I got. If you're back in 15th or so, maybe you take a stab if you have something behind the wall. But if you're in the top 10, I think you're just kind of locked in there. Passing's difficult. Of course, you get the slingshot, but when you get to the corner, sometimes these outside cars have the advantage because all the air comes off the inside car. It makes the car really tight, and you've seen Travis and a couple other guys do that mid-corner. So I think you just gotta go for that track position overall.
Bill to get ready to go back for a restart. 8 laps to go. Travis Barnes, after a tangle with Jeff Stabnow and lap car Brett Johnson up in the front. He admitted on communication that he was having some technical issues. He is still in the fight, though, looking for his 3rd win in ARCA. If he can pull it off. He won earlier the year at Gateway and the race on dirt at Knoxville. Coming to the line for the week break off for Memorial Day next Monday and Thursday. Green flag here at Indy. And 7 to go. Barnes, outside lane, open the door. Here comes Dan West Jr. And Paul Newton will be poking into the fight as well as they work into turn 2, Jeremy, in front of you.
Here we go. Let's see if Dan has anything as Paul dropped back quick there. Breaking the draft, goes to 0-10, snaking his way halfway down the back straightaway. Dan still getting a great run here into turn 3. Can he do anything with it? Not this time. Frank Harris looks like he's going to go side by side with Georgi there. Oh, as Paul gets right to the back bumper of Dan West. I thought they were going to make contact momentarily as we go on the cockpit camera of Dan West Jr. car 55 and P2. 6 laps remaining. Doesn't have enough speed to get to the back bumper this time.
Barnes lead. West inside. Will he go after him? No. Newton to second. Paul Newton once more, though. Here comes the Paul Newton Designs, number 27. Reeling in Barnes. Down that back stretch. Heading to turn number 3. Give him a little razzle-dazzle. It's a two-car tandem fight now as they break away. Barnes and West, Newton and Vining coming to 5 to go here off turn number 4.
There's a decent gap there. Paul's got a good run here off of turn 4. 4 cars in the mix. James Vining chasing down Dan West now, as we got 1 car all the way to the inside wall there mid-pack. Paul trying to break the draft a little bit there. 2 car lengths is the gap between the 0, 10, and 27. Dan with a great turn number 1. Kenny followed up with a good turn 2. Paul going to take the road course approach there in turn 2. The old Juan Pablo Montoya effect from the COT days, but it helps his late apex speed. Going to keep the distance of the 0, 10. Travis, he's going to close in pretty decently. Cannot get there this time.
Newton in the lead, got around Barnes, 5, make it 4 laps to go. Barnes is in the wall. He has pancaked the passenger side of the car, and it causes everyone else to scatter behind them. The pole driver, Kevin Smith, spinning wildly. Everybody bobbing, weaving to miss the 0-0. Caution out now with 3 to go, 4 to go.
What another domino effect of a wreck this is. 6 caution to go. We're going to get the green flag with 2 laps to go in our first attempt at overtime here after we get this all figured out, as we're going to go let the TV replay on LSRTV and take a look here. You got the shuffle. The 0-0 gets hooked by the 71 of Georgi, and then he spins in front of the field. Everyone going left, right, trying to avoid. As we go back on a little VHS rewind style here, the 71, I think Georgi just bounces off the wall. They go on board his car. No, it's like the first wreck. Wes, it's like the very first wreck where he just come across the wall, gets close, but drives right into the right rear. It's almost a spitting image of the first wreck.
And Kevin Smith in that 71 of Guyroy's car. There it is. Callum Guyroy. Oh, boy. And now remember, this happened after Travis Barnes tagged the outside safer barrier. Let's watch and see what happened to the 0-10, who's right now back in 5th. Travis Barnes. Overtime is imminent. Keep an eye on Travis Barnes. Though he was able to continue, Jeremy Stanley, his car has got to be now badly damaged.
Yeah, you gotta be decently damaged there. Absolutely. Wall smack to the outside. Could have broke something there inside the suspension area. This is gonna help Newton with one less person to hold off. I'm kind of surprised James Vining's in the mix here. He was hard charging there right behind the 55. He might have some speed here late in the going to contend for the race win. There he is, 333, sitting in 3rd place. So quad 3s for James at the moment. Does he have a chance, Wesley? Does he potentially steal one here this evening?
Barnes now back in 4th. I didn't know if maybe the production truck can show us what happened to Travis. I think maybe it's bypassed us where we can't show that replay. Anyhow, Barnes tagged the wall, and when he did, it caused the other chain reaction of events to take place. Look at it. Those cars. Look at those cars up close. Oh, boy. Gotta love those ARCA cars. And they drive so differently, Jeremy, than the trucks on Monday night. Oh, here we go. Keep an eye on Travis Barnes. Here's a replay. We might have to fast forward a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little back little back further than what we were
We're
expecting.
going to take 100 miles an hour. Once these cars where they're into the back straight off the short shooting in the turn, 1 and 2 to the back straight away. He's right. Going to be Barnes in the lead. Barnes and West back there behind him. Barnes going to go up to there, and they're going to scatter over the way on the back straight away. Look at all the roaches finding daylight, finding a place to hide. All right, here we go. Hit play. Here it is. Dan West Jr. keeping on the leader. Barnes right here.
Doesn't even prefer.
Maybe it's the next. Let's go 100 miles an hour again. We're going to go fast forward again and go 100 miles an hour. There we go. Speed up, and then they're going to go to the short to the back straight away. And they're going to work to the back straight away down to turn number 3. All right, here it is. Here it is, guys. Look at this. On the back door comes Paul Newton. And Jeremy set it up for us, man. Does Barnes just go too high? Does he run out of room? What goes on here as he gets past Dan West Jr. right behind him? This is before the crash coming out of turn 4, right about now.
I'm about to go 100 mile an hour again.
Maybe not now.
We're gonna try this.
Third time's a charm, I hope. Here it is. Boom. Little tap,
Great.
taparoo.
Great setups here, by the way, from West
Yeah.
and Outland.
Tracy's the man. Here we go. Let's try this one more time. There it is. Bam!
Boom. That's a lot of
And
damage.
then notice
yeah.
that, well, I mean, maybe they panicked when they saw Barnes hit the wall, but then obviously it looked like Guy Roy and Kevin Smith were having their own little battle amongst themselves. Watch it one more time from another angle. On board.
Just too tight.
Oh!
Watch.
Nyeh.
That car is too hurt. I don't.
And he
think
still
we
holds
do
on to
it.
third, fourth.
Yeah,
You think it's damage bad? What do you think?
we're about to go back to green flag. I think he's done.
They
I don't-
are.
He's in 4th place now. I think he's going to drop back further. There's no way that car is steering correctly. There is some toe damage for sure in Travis's car, but here we go. Newton first, Dan West Jr. second, James Vining's third. Either one of these guys have an opportunity. My gut feeling it's Paul, being from P number 1 here with a 2-lap shootout. Let's see what happens here. Green flag out for the 7th time this evening.
Oh, and by the way, still on the regular scheduled distance, 2 to go. Back underway. Let's see what happens. Actually, this is overtime. My apologies. We just passed the overtime distance. And look at Newton in front, but Dan West Jr., Jeremy, right behind him. And look at Barnes. Even he's damaged. He's trying to fight and stay on the podium. Here he comes.
He's still carrying some speed, moves up to 3rd place, surprisingly, somehow. And now he's going to hold them off here to maintain podium position. Going to be white flag, 1 to go as they come off of turn number 4. Paul Newton, slight advantage over Dan West. Dan's going to get tight behind him. Scratches the wall. Caution before the white flag is out. We're going to stack them up again.
Double overtime coming up next. Caution is out. The field did not take the CRN 1 to go, which means we race overtime again. And there's Callum Guyroy. Oh boy, did Guyry have a problem there? Keep it on Guyry in the 71. Evan West up in front of him, Odenbacher.
About to find out here as we're 2-3. They're 4 wide, almost there and deep in the back, but that's not where the wreck initiates.
They're saying keep an eye on the 71, Jeremy.
We're locked in.
Caution
here, turn
had to
3.
come out before the white flag. I mean, and they were so close too. They were off turn 4. Look at this. Where the hell am I seeing a caution?
Not here. Okay, let's do a little VHS rewind and let's just go car by car deep in the pack there. It must be someone way in the back because obviously it wasn't. Oh, right there. Okay, I saw it. There was a car without a front
Right there,
clip.
car in the wall. Car in the wall up there in 4. Yep.
Right Yeah, just back it up. Not replay wise, but car wise. There's someone deep, like in 20th place, roughly.
Yeah, just go back car by car. Maybe
Ryan
it's
Bay.
Ryan Bay. Watch him and see if Bay got hit.
Bay just slams the outside wall. He's got no. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, there it is. Wow, there it is.
Kyle Matthews.
Grady and
Bobby
Matthews.
Grady.
Yep, Bobby Grady and Matthews down below the racetrack.
Oh, heavy.
That's
Impact.
what it was. There you go. Tracy Barnes, you're the man, buddy. Tracy Brown, you're the man. Travis. Tracy Brown, you're the man. Tracy Brown, you're the man.
He said Tracy Barnes.
I meant Tracy Brown.
It's okay. Yeah, it looked like Bobby was actually trying to sneak it in 3 wide, drives it deep on the low side. Somehow sneaks the car into a 3 wide position. And then the wreck happens right on corner exit here. There's the 1 car, gets to the 3 wide. The 96 is going to close it up a little bit. Kyle maybe, he definitely got squeezed there on exit. And just very little real estate to work with.
Let my love open the door to your heart.
Back-to-back broadcasts where we get Wesley Atlan singing.
There you go.
Look at him go.
Oh man. It's a good song too. Has a what is it? Pete Townshend? Pete Townsend? Yeah. Pete Townshend, part of the Who. You're exactly right. That's it. Very popular from Look Who's Talking. Do you remember the movie Look Who's Talking with Kirstie Alley and John Travolta?
Yeah, it's been a few years back now, so yeah, you know how the memory banks are, man.
Need to get you some more county line aid there, Tracy.
Yeah,
Get you-
that was
Get
some
some
good
more.
stuff. Yes, absolutely.
All right, everybody. Overtime number 2 coming up, which means, Jeremy, they get one more shot at it. I think they're going to come to the 1 to go indication this time by. Lights are off. There he goes. One more attempt. If we get a caution before the white flag or the checker, the field is frozen at time of caution, like NASCAR. And the race will be considered official. Top 5, Paul Newton, Dan West Jr., Travis Barnes, Troy Daggett, Tyler King, Vining, Wygett, Barnes, Adenbacher, Guyray. Ready to settle it here at Indy next.
You're listening to the CRN Community Radio Network. We now pause for station identification. This is the Community Radio Network, WCRN, 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Smithfield, North Carolina. Proud to be in the USA. We are CRN.
Jeremy, I can't believe that we're already at the top of the hour again. Wow.
Couple minutes shy of this race. Broadcast will be at the post-race part of it whenever we get to the top of the hour at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where me and you are currently located here. And shout out to YouTube chats. We got a correct phonetic spelling there of Kalman. I think it's Giori, if I'm pronouncing that correctly now. Thank you for that correction.
Like the karate uniform?
So Giori.
Cal Giori. There you go. Giori. Oh, we butchered his name enough damn times this year, I guess. You know, it's bound to happen. All right, we'll get ready for a restart. Giori. There you go. Gi, like a karate uniform. Giori. Back to green. Oh, looks like they're going an extra lap, guys. They waved off the restart. Yep. They wanted to make sure we got Giori's name right.
You gotta love it whenever the race control is like, you know what, let's let the broadcasters figure this out before we go to green flag. Big shout out to them. They listen to
Callum
our broadcast.
Giori. So the Y is silent. It's not Giori. It's Giori. Giori. Callum Giori. Callum Giori. Callum Giori. Red
It's
leather,
always
yellow
the-
leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather.
It's always the G's that are in other languages that always mess with me. Like, if you go to American and you're like, let me get one of those gyros. It's like, no. It's a euro.
It's a euro, buddy. It's a euro.
Some people say gyros.
I know. I do too.
We got to figure it out.
And what is it? The gyro cam? The gyro cam? How do you say it?
Yeah, it's gyro. But we all call it gyro. He orders a gyro. And why is my food always stable? It doesn't roll around on the plate.
Oh my goodness. Put that on the 579 menu late at night. Oh, wow. That's just pita bread wrapped up like a circle, right? I mean, it's,
It's a sandwich.
the Bible times, pita bread. Fish and pita bread. All right, here we go. Coming back to green. Overtime number 2. Field comes back to the restart zone at the world's greatest race course in Indianapolis, and overtime. Backing away, Paul Newton with a restart. Travis Barnes, though, launching damage car and all on the inside into turn number 1.
Green flag is out for the final time this evening. As we get through turn 2 right now. Travis somehow maintaining second place with a wrecked race car. Here comes Dan West, going to get a good shove there from Tyler King down the back straightaway. Going to help propel Dan to P2, at least giving it an effort. Travis Barnes hanging on somehow without the assistance. Maybe a little side draft, but there goes the 55, going to close into the 27. Paul Newton with a 1-car length lead as they get to turn 4. And it's going to be the 1 lap to go this time.
The white flag will fly in the air. It is presented by CRN. Well, weather has washed out everything this weekend racing-wise. So the only coverage on the Community Radio Network will be on, of course, on Saturday and Sunday, and that is baseball of the Old North State League Wooden Bat League. The Chatham County Yardbirds versus the Clayton Clovers. That'll be this Sunday afternoon, weather permitting. Final lap.
Wow.
As Newton's on the inside, battles with Dan West Jr. side by side. Both of these guys hungry, wanting to win. A short shoot into turn number 3. Behind them, Tyler King watches on. Dan West Jr. up top side. He's in the wall. Newton on the bottom. Paul Newton, we got another truck. Bobby Grady's car in the wall. Across the line. It is going to be Paul Newton. Damn camera angles. Gosh, checkered flag. Paul Newton is going to win here at Indy.
That was such a fantastic move by Dan West off of turn 2. I don't know if you caught that. He had a corner of his life. Got to the outside of Newton. What a strong move just to erase it all. Half a track later off a turn 4 exit. Gets too tight, slams the wall, and gives it right back to Paul Newton, who takes the checker flag this evening. Fantastic job by Paul with a very clean-looking race car.
So it is Paul Newton picking up the win. Watch the replay. I think we're going to show you the finish of the race from another camera angle. I'm sorry about that. The grandstand shots and the pagoda blocking the finish of the race. We did, however, get Paul Newton coming across the line, but here you see from a different angle how all this happened here, Jeremy, as they're working their way coming down to the line. This is coming out of the short chute in turn number 3. working turn 4, coming down to the start-finish line. This is the white flag. This is the one to go. Set it up for us here. What a finish. One to go on the last lap.
Yeah, watch Dan here doing everything he can to maintain. This turn 2 just drove it perfectly. The best corner you could ever have in Indianapolis. Gets to the run to the outside. Watch this. He's going to drive it in low. Dips the tires low somehow. Keeps it stable. Barely squeaks it to the outside. Paul gives him tons of room. Very respectable. Tries to side draft him a little bit. Is not enough. Dan gets him cleared. And then Dan's like, man, yes, I made the pass. I can do this. Right. Well, actually, he's not going to get till turn 3. And then he just comes off at turn number 4 and gets maybe a little too excited at the finish. Too wide, throttles up too early, slams the wall, and then Paul just has to turn left and makes it across the line P1.
And there it was. As Paul Newton is able to hold off the likes of Dan West Jr. and Tyler King. Coming up, somewhere on the racetrack, is the Northwest High Five Salute. Don't go anywhere, Tracy. Keep them on the front stretch, as those cars will be celebrating in just a moment. There's that big scoring pylon. There it is. Hell, did you miss it all? Did he miss it all?
Backwards. I think so.
I think he missed it all. I think you missed it all, Jeremy. I think
we were capped though.
Tracy, you missed it all, man. What in the world, man?
We recapped the finish though, so that was important to break that down.
I'm praising Tracy, and then the look at it.
Unbelievable.
Is it?
Run it back.
No, we're not running it back at all. The race is over as Paul Newton has picked up the win, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at the results for tonight's race here. By the way, a quick reminder, the Northwest Racing Series will be off next Monday and Thursday night in observance of Memorial Day. We're taking off. So the next race will not be until 2 weeks from Monday and Tuesday. And Jeremy, I got to give a round of applause. You're going to be a part of the Tuesday series. You're going to road course with them.
We got a road course. That's absolutely correct. I'm excited for that.
That's right. We will be at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park after the Memorial Day break. That, of course, again, will be on June the 1st and the 4th. That is, again, after next week. We are taking off from Memorial Day to have an observance and a week of rest. Paul Newton picking up the win. We'll talk to him in a moment. Dan West Jr. second. Tyler King third on the podium. All coming up for post-race. Travis Barnes, Troy Daggett, James Vining, Brian Barnes, John Onenbacher, Tom Wygant, and Seth Cooper, Jeremy, with a top 10. I got to give an attaboy, by the way, to the cat man, James Vining. What a solid finish for him tonight.
Yeah, solid finish for him right there. Kalman Yori there. Yori? I think I got that there. Frank Harris, Bryce Dickman in 13th.
Kalman Giori.
14th. It's going to take me a race or two. We'll get
Giori, man.
15th. Dina Rogers in 16th. Bobby Grady in 17th. Kevin Smith 18th. Ryan McLeod at 19th. And Kenneth Garber rounds out the top 20.
Rest of the finishing order, Ryan Bay, Tim Garski right there, along with, of course, the other drivers, Stephen Paulison, Ray Fournier, Devin Matthews, top 25, Brett Johnson, Jeff Stabnow. What might have been such a strong car crashed in the late rally. He'll end up 27th. Kyle Matthews, Jake Pinagoro at one time up in the top 5. Ryan Bloom crashed out, top 30.
And you got Josh Childers in 31st, Chris Kynes 32nd, Sean Brightsman, Christopher White, Dennis Moore, and Jason Leake rounds out the 36 car lineup here for the Indianapolis race for the ARCA series.
We don't have any commercials, so we're just going to go right into post-race and thank our sponsors. And we'll bring in the top 3 right now. Of course, the winner is Mr. Paul Newton. Paul, congratulations, bud. Man, this one didn't come easy. You hung in the back, kind of stayed out of trouble, waited for the fireworks to happen, sparks to fly, things to clear up, and then you put yourself in the catbird seat to win. Congratulations, Paul.
Thank you so much for that. It's a great honor to win here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, my favorite place in the world, somewhere I like to be as much as I can. I was supposed to be at the Indy 500 this year, but not going to happen. Going to push it off till next year, and just it means so much to win on an oval again at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a track I'm coming to love quite a bit on the road as well as in real life. So it's such an emotional day too. So man, it just means a lot.
Do you think some of your road racing experience plays a factor here? I know that used to be a conversation because the corners are kind of flatter. I know they're faster than your road course, this and that, but the way you approach these corners, you can late apex if you want. You can just hug the bottom like a traditional oval. Do you think your driving style overall just works so well here compared to some other people?
Yeah, this track really does drive like a road course. It's in most oval tracks, you pick a line and run that line through the whole turn, and here you apex on one spot on the inside of the corner, just like on a road course. So I think some of the road course skills definitely transfer here, and it's something that I like doing a whole lot.
Paul, man, what's your take of these ARCA cars, man? Obviously, the success you've had in the past in Cup or Truck or Xfinity, are you having a liking to them? And obviously, segue that to thanking your sponsors.
Yeah, I like these ARCA cars quite a bit. The physics changes and the setup changes that they made in the off season really changed these for the better. It's a little tight tonight, which we have not been seeing all night long, but the aero stuff was still there. You could still aero block. You could still side draft real good. Dan got that huge run on me in turn 2 on the last lap, and thanks to side draft, I was able to stay even with him until turn 3, and we had that battle all the way down to turn 4. I hope I gave him enough room in turn 4. I'm sorry if I didn't, but man, banging doors all the way to the line, that's the way to do it. That's the Kyle Busch way.
Yeah. Hey, man, before we let you go, please thank your sponsors, Paul, and enjoy your Memorial Day break, buddy.
All right. Thanks, Paul Newton Design. Thanks, Trading Paints. Thanks, Team Skittles. Thanks to everybody at the Fresno Sports Car Club of America. And thanks to everyone watching at home here on LSRTV, which is awesome. And thanks all the guys at Northwest Racing Series for putting on the best league of all time.
Paul Newton, ladies and gentlemen, and he will become the now 5th different winner to win on the series of this ARCA Fun Series, if you will. He'll join drivers and include wins with Ryan Bay, Sean Brightsmith, Troy Daggett, Brian Barnes, Kevin Smith. Oh, and now Travis Barnes with 2 C's. Actually, now the 6th different winner of the season. Way to go, Paul. Enjoy Memorial Day. Let's grab second place, and we'll get the thoughts of Shelton Washington's Dan West Jr. Dan, always great hearing from you. Devin was trying to go for the sweep, come up short. And good to see you have a solid podium. Second place, sir.
Patient in the beginning and just trying to learn the car. Didn't do a lot of practice. Like Paul said, it was just it was fun because you could do the draft deal, but I found it was just crazy how much you could back the corner up and gain just coming off. Right, I mean, just getting that run off from the apex out. But unfortunately, I had that incident with Seth Cooper, as you guys seen. I haven't watched it yet. Hopefully it's just a racing deal. I don't know. If it's my fault, I apologize. I thought I was clear.
The only person that had that kind of incident too there. It happened quite a few times, and these corners are so much different than what we're used to racing each and every single week, right? So it could maybe throw you off there. But I think your car was damaged a little bit there, if I'm not mistaken. How much repair time did you have, if so, and how did you drive back to the front? Because that car was overall pretty quick.
Yeah, no, the car it had 4 minutes of repair. Fortunately, we had those cautions that allowed me to get that thing fixed up. Just being patient, just trying to. That's kind of all night, I think, like Paul was doing, and a lot of people that finished towards the front were just trying to be patient. And let the runs come when you can, let the passes come when you can, and let people go that if they want to dive bomb you. It was just at the end of the night, it was just it was, I'm fortunate and happy to be able to come down and have that race with Paul. I mean, the guy is awesome to race with and clean, and gave me the room on the outside coming off 2, which I thought he would come up and block that, but gave me the room, and we raced it out towards the end. As far as coming off 4, I had plenty of room. That deal there was me just not wanting to lift, and I got into the wall. But it was a good race, and congrats to him.
Dan, before we let you go, buddy, as always, please thank your sponsors and have a nice Memorial Day break, and we'll see you back here in 2 weeks, bud.
Thanks, guys. Like everybody else, it's kind of a doom day. I mean, it's kind of we lost a pillar in NASCAR, in my opinion. I was never a huge fan, in the beginning, but I think we all kind of grew more of a fan of the gentleman. And as once he became a dad, and he matured, and it was a big loss. I mean, we're all kind of feeling that right now. So I got to dedicate this to the Bush family, and I feel for them, and hopefully, they can the pain will subdue soon. So take care, guys. Thank you.
There's the thoughts of Dan West Jr. Always great hearing from him. He'll finish in the 2nd position. Finally, 3rd, Mr. Tyler King, Beaver State Racing, patiently hanging in the back, waited for the right time to climb, and you'll settle for a podium finish, man. Way to go.
Yeah, we had some adversities to overcome today. Got caught up in a couple of little incidents and lots of damage, and yeah, stayed out there in that last long run when everybody was pitting, and just praying for a caution, and we got one and that turned our race around kind of. I still had 30 seconds of damage to get fixed in the pit, so I lost all my track position, but we're able to come out with fresher tires than most guys in front of us, and with all the yellows, they were able to leapfrog some guys, and yeah, eventually picked our way up to 3rd place, which is not where I was expecting to be, halfway through this ring.
Started in 9th place and had a pretty solid run overall there, minus a couple of things that a lot of people had to go through, really. How are you able to get up there about halfway through the race? You started to feel, if it looked like you were starting to pick up some speed more and more, and then of course you had to drive through some wrecks. And so how do you feel like you did on the second half of the race to find that speed in the 21?
Well, once we got the damage fixed, I think it was like 10 laps to go, right? Yeah, like had just slightly fresher tires, and maybe a little bit braver going into the corners, and maybe on corner exit, and trying to get guys into bad spots and take advantage of that. And there's a lot of tight, close racing out there tonight, and like I said, a lot of guys were getting into each other, and I was able to just take advantage of that stuff and ended up with a podium finish.
Well, Tyler, before we let you go, man, please thank your sponsors, and have a nice Memorial Day week off. We'll see you in 2 weeks when we get back at it again at the road course at Canadian Tire.
Yeah, thanks, Wesley. Obviously, thanks to everybody who puts on the show here at the Northwest Racing Series. Congrats to Paul on the win. As everybody has said before, it's a real dark, tough day in the motorsports community, and just thinking about the Bush family, Samantha, Brexton, Lennox. It's, as a father, it's just I can't imagine what those kids are going through. It's just heartbreaking, and just praying for them.
Yeah, well, a lot of people I know is Brexton celebrated his 10th birthday just the other day, 3 days ago. On Monday, he celebrated his birthday, and Lennox is 4 years old. And listen, Kyle Busch passed away at 41. I'm 42, and I promise you, I mean, that was a shock. So never. I'm gonna say this in closing to everybody: never take life for granted. And I think this is one of the grim, sad realities that life does sometimes to not just the racing industry, but people in general. Just to say, look, we're not Superman. We're not immortal, right? I mean, we've lost a lot of key people that meant a lot to people's lives in a long time in the last couple of years. I think of Hulk Hogan. I think of Ozzy Osbourne. I think of, now Kyle Busch. I think of my friend Kyle Loftus, obviously, that, took his life a couple of weeks ago. And, that man was instrumental in making Cletus McFarland be the man he is on social media and so much more. And I don't know, man. It's just, it's a grim reminder that going to bed and waking up, having the breath of life, don't take it for granted, because you might not wake up or your day can end at any time, for sure. Certainly. Jeremy, we've heard from the top three drivers, buddy. We'll wrap it up here tonight at Indy. Obviously, a win for Paul Newton. 6 different winner now in 8 races. There's only been one guy that's been able to be repeat winner, and that's, of course, Travis Barnes. Your take of the break, and we'll come back. And believe it or not, man, we're down to the home stretch. 8 races down, 7 to go as we close in on the end of May, into June, and obviously mid-July on this new spring division. Sir, always a pleasure. And, man, I hope you enjoy your Memorial Day with your kids as well, buddy.
We're going to have a fantastic weekend ourselves. This race was, didn't expect the big wrecks here this evening, but it was entertaining nonetheless. Appreciate you as always, Wesley. And then thank you, Tracy, for stepping in tonight. Guys, have a fun week off, and we'll come back at it here in the top of the month and get back to it.
And I would be hard-pressed to say that everybody with the Northwest Racing Series family, our production crew for LSRTV and CRN, have no problem in saying that this race tonight is in homage and memory of Rowdy, Wild Thing, Candyman, Kyle Busch. Godspeed for, of course, everybody at the Northwest with Jeff Stabnow, Sean Breitzman, John Annenbacher, Charles Wooten on production, Tracy Brown. Tonight, don't forget the Leadfoot Racing League iRacing Late Model Tour returns on Sunday, May 31st. For Jeremy Stanley, I am Wesley Outland. Godspeed, Kyle Busch. We congratulate Paul Newton winning tonight here at Indy. Have a great Memorial Day. If you're out and about for Memorial Day, acknowledge a soldier. Tell them thank you for their services, men or women. And also remember that this weekend, and especially Monday, we pause and reflect and remember the men and women who have perished to let us have the freedoms that we enjoy, whether it's real-life racing or iRacing, or just enjoying time with our family and friends. Godspeed. We'll see you in 2 weeks at Canadian Tire.